This is episode 81, Draft Offsides. I'm with Tico Renzo. My name's Keefe. And we are done talking about that trade. We can move on because it's not being traded back.
Nope.
We can move forward. And
At
want
least
to
I
talk
play my alpha.
Oh, I kind of want to leave it just in case something happens so I can so I can make that quick. So in case Luis Diaz gets injured or something, so then I can quickly accept the trade. You know, and double fuck you.
Take my FNAF too.
Yeah, take your foul too. Okay, should we get into some games?
Yeah, let's get into some games.
Alrighty. So kicking it off for me, I'm looking at that West Ham 1, Everton 1, kind of whatever game. Do we need to speak about it that much? Is there anything there?
No, not really. O'Brien, we can speak about O'Brien. O'Brien had some big points in that game.
That's funny because I kind of said something a few weeks ago where I was like, oh, I don't know if he's really a big point scorer. And then, but I was like, Everton, as a clean sheets is more where he's going to get points. And then since then, he scored 2 goals in 3 games. So sometimes you just shouldn't listen to me. On the other side, Thomas Schuchak gets another goal. I mean, he's just like, he's so funny because he's like literally like plays like a 6, you know what I mean? But then he'll just he randomly scores 8 goals a season, 9 goals a season, which is like for the way he plays as a holding midfielder just feels like so weird. He has such a high goal count where he plays.
And where would you pick him up? Like, I don't think he was he probably was drafted, but like he'd be a late draft round, so it's not a bad pickup. Like,
no, yeah, I agree. I think I mean there might be some place where he's on waivers. Like, no, probably not. But he's not that he's just not that consistent, so it's probably tough.
yeah, he's not the most desirable player.
Someone else on that team I want to talk about is James Ward-Prowse. Had a solid 10-point game. He's now that what's his name's the coach, it seems like he's getting a lot more playing time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he seems to be favored more, and I still don't understand why he wasn't favored before. I just wish I didn't pick him up in the 4th round this season to find that out till now.
Yeah,
so.
do you feel like you wouldn't pick him up now because you're feeling too burned by it or something?
Yeah, I'm not picking him up now. I'm fine where I'm at.
Too late. Yeah. And then Paquette, I also was interested that Paquette is back. I know he's he's pretty hard to roster but he's also someone that went pretty high in drafts. But that we were warning about that, I think he's good enough. He's too good to be on waivers, I think, but he's not good enough necessarily to start. He's like one of those guys in the middle.
It's having his worst year. He's only averaging 6.2.
Yeah.
The only good thing about him is that, he's going to play most of the game. He usually gets starts.
And he's on penalties in that team.
Okay. But you're hoping. How many penalties has West Ham had?
Like 3, maybe.
Yeah.
The other interesting one that's just been such a disappointment is Kudus, right? Like, such a good season last year, had some really good flashes and really good moments this year, but then it's kind of underwhelmed for the latter half of the season.
I think after that Tottenham game, it gone. He was starting to get there. Then after that Tottenham game, he fucking flipped, and then that was it.
Is that the one who got the red card?
Yeah.
Yeah. Always gotta blame Tottenham.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
It's always Tottenham's fault in some way. Next game, Ipswich Town 2, Nottingham Forest 4. This game was 3-0 at half, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the most surprising thing was that Ipswich scored 2. That was
they got 2 in the 82nd and 93rd minute. It was kind of whatever goals. Standouts for me, Anthony Alenga, 2 goals. Milinkovic getting a goal and an assist, which is kind of crazy. And then Gibbs White with an assist. And then Anderson had an assist. So, kind of the big hitters, the guys that have kind of been the stars. I mean, Chris Wood has gone, 2 or 3 games without a goal now?
But he's been still scoring points. What's his points been, Tico? I think he's still been scoring. He's close to double digits.
The last 3 games, he's had 6.5, 3.5, 2.25. But in the loss against Newcastle, he had 14 points without scoring a goal. He had the assist.
He had the assist, yeah.
It's also surprising for Forrest to score 4 goals and no Wood contribution.
Yeah, truly.
True.
But it's going to happen. I mean, I still think, you're not worried about that. I think it's more interesting the defenders like Nico Williams, Aina. But
I'm fucking worried.
Swooped up. You're worried about what?
About Nottingham Forest defense. That's what lost me my game week this week because fucking Rio didn't get his clean sheet points. He only got 2.5.
They were up 3-0. I think they just kind of those games where you just you stop working as hard.
Yes,
I'm a Tottenham fan. I don't know those games.
I think you might. Because those games, because you're never up 3-0. Is that why you don't know?
No, we're usually down. You know what? I do know those games. We're usually down 3-0 and then we score late. You're right. No, I do.
Yeah,
when you get happy end of It's like, if only there was more time.
We would have got him.
All right, next game, Man City 2, Brighton Hove Albion 2. What did you guys think about this game?
My moves look good, but it's just City that we've seen all season. You know what I mean?
To me, this seemed like the freshest of the City team, because when you look at the lineup, it was Doku, Marmoush, Savinho, and then Holland as the front four, which actually was like, this is like kind of more like future of City. What's this going to look like,
Yeah.
That was interesting. I think even though that Doku and Savinho didn't contribute, I don't think Doku contributed. Did he have an assist?
No.
No. So
No,
I thought that they're both pretty effective. Like when I watched like the extended highlights and watch moments in the game, they were both like very involved. And like Savinho won the ball back for the one of the goals where he won it back and then made the pass and that guy assisted. So I think Pep's happy with them, in those positions.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
I think it's 2 or 3 starts in a row for Doku, which is a good sign. But dude, I feel bad for that the defender with the own goal, Kusanov.
Kusanov.
You feel bad
Yeah,
because you
he's-
started him? Is that why you feel bad?
No, because he had the own goal, and then his first start. Remember, he had that bad pass to the back, which led to a goal. So, and when he had the own goal, they were up 2-1. So it's been a rough start, and he's only like 18, 19. So you kind of feel bad
Yeah.
for the kid.
You feel bad.
I hope he's gonna be fine.
I also think that after that shaky game 1 against Chelsea, he's looked pretty good. And then like, the own goal was kind of like that kind of happens.
Yeah.
I don't know how he really could have done that, right?
He's a kid, man. You just said he's 18 years old. Just give him time. He's got bought for a reason. He'll develop. He's at
No,
City.
yeah, I think he's like pretty good now. Like I don't think it's like, that he needs to even develop that much. I think it's like, to your point, like learn a little bit mentally, but like physically seems like he's totally there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like develop more mentally for the Premiership. Develop more mentally, more maturity. You know what I mean? Like he'll get there.
What did you think of that? Estupiñán free kick was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm
He's
sure you're happy.
pretty frustrating if you own him.
Yeah.
But I'm up for, he's also someone I think he had a pretty serious injury last year, and so this year felt like it was always like him just like kind of getting this feet back under him, Like I'd be curious. I'd be curious to he's like I'm trying to think for next year if he's still at Brighton and like now that the coaches likes him and stuff. I kind of think he might be a sleeper for like a next year type player.
He was great 2 years ago, and then last season I think I picked him up last year. I think
he was going,
and then he got a really bad injury.
He was like the number 2 defender behind Trent last year, I think. Or 2 seasons. Yeah, 2 seasons.
2 seasons ago, because he was scoring goals and getting assists left, right, and center in that Brighton team.
Yeah, it was like Trent Trippier or whatever, whichever order, and then Hay was like the third guy. But I think that's the thing with defenders sometimes is like sometimes it's really hard to be consistent. That's why someone like Trent is so good, quote unquote, because he's like doing that every year. It'll be interesting to see if like Anthony Robinson can do that. It can be as elite as he was at the start of the season, like for a whole season next year as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, that's all I really need to talk about here, right? João Pedro looked decent. It was Matoma had some good moments. I mean, those guys. I think that whole attacking line for Brighton's pretty good. Is Rutter?
Yeah, Rutter was good.
Has he been getting points? He didn't get you points last week.
Who, Rutter?
Rutter, yeah.
He got like 11, didn't he?
He got 4 last week. He got less than 5 last week, but this week he got almost 11. So yeah, I'm out at that. Okay, next game, Southampton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Kind of surprised that Wolves were able to score 2 goals without Cunha, but I guess when you think about it, it was against Southampton, which they make everyone look good. It was good to see Strand Larson on the score sheet. He got 2.
Yep.
That would have been a great spot.
A great pickup. Yeah.
Pickup. But then whoever they play next, that's probably not going to happen again.
No. Probably not. How long's Cunha out? Did we ever find that out?
Well, still hasn't been the 3 games, so he's gonna miss the next game for sure. And if they're gonna extend it more, they'll probably let us know. But even last game when Cunha wasn't playing against Everton, Larson only had 1 point, so it's not like guaranteed. Yeah,
there's been good stodgy defense. I think it would be so matchup based, and like there's no better matchup than Southampton.
There is no better matchup. You're right about that.
I think with Cunha, I wouldn't be surprised if they announced it during the international break or like after or something. I just think they're taking their time with it. But I think he'll get at least a game or 2 more banned.
At least, you think, right? Because that was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not good. And it's more so because it's also a second offense of violent conduct. So I think they're really trying to crack down on. But maybe not. That might just be wishful thinking for me because I want Tico to suffer. Okay,
Yeah.
next game. Bournemouth 1, Brentford 2. A little bit of a shocking result, but not really. I mean, but Brentford away has been so good. So interesting players here. I mean, Wissa got a goal. I'd love to see that. Anything else really stand out for you guys?
Not really. But I'm not too worried about Bournemouth. Although a couple of their players, like Kirkers, I think, still had a good game. I think Christie's been one of the consistent players. He had a rough game, so like you need them all clicking. Did Evan Nilsson? Did he score?
He didn't score, but
Right?
he can look decent. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, it's like I don't know. Like he definitely seems like the player that Ariola wants to play with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's see what their scores were. Yeah, like Kirk has had what 17.5 points. Yeah, Evan Nielsen had 9.75. You're not mad at that. Like for a striker that doesn't score or assist, 9.75 points is pretty good.
It's really good. Yeah. I'm not too worried about Bournemouth.
I mean, Clivert had 9.25. Cook had 9.25. Semenyo had 8. Not great scores by any means, but not scores that lost you a week. You know, they didn't win. They lost. They didn't lose you a week. And then you look at You look at the Brentford team. What's got the goal?
Yeah.
But then outside of that, it was more like Norgard. You know, he got a goal, and obviously he's not like a super high scoring player for them, but he got 21.5 points. Yeah. But it's kind of funny. Wemo with the assists getting 15 just shows, and then the consistency of Mark Flecken is pretty crazy as a goalie.
Yeah. Top 2 goalkeeper.
He's number 1, I think, by a decent amount. He's averaging over 10 points a game.
Shit.
Yeah. He's had like in the last how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the last 10 games, he's had 2 games without that aren't double digits.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so definitely a little bit of a differentiator.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's like some weird ones like Shad has not been good the last few weeks. Lewis Potter classified as a forward, even though he plays left back. Like if he was classified as a left back, I think he'd be
more value.
Yeah. But it's
definitely more value.
It's too hard to put him in as with the forward and the way forward gets core points.
They don't get no clean sheet points. So
no clean sheet points. I guess the only like even when he scores, he gets less. You get more points scoring as a defender, a goal.
Then you do. I think it's like 9 points, right?
Yeah, so it's like it's pretty much like everything's working against you.
Yeah,
it's a weird one. Okay, what else was there? Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Boring game.
I thought they were going to get whooped on.
I thought they were going to get whooped on way more than 1-0, but Chelsea also didn't touch the ball in the Arsenal box for the first 30 minutes of that game. They had no possession in the Arsenal box for the first 30 minutes. They barely had
changed. What is changing that Chelsea team?
Maresca is like imposed. Like before that, they were playing way more transition, counterattacking football, and Maresca is now like imposing his style of play onto them, and it's just not working.
And it's also how do you replace the Nico Jackson?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm serious. You think that is a joke, but I'm actually very serious about that. I also think that obviously in this game, not having Cole Palmer, Arsenal were just like, cool. There's really no one that can beat us. You know. But from the Arsenal standpoint, you got another goal from Marino, and then it was a set piece goal. It was the first set piece goal in a few weeks. It's been a few months for them. You're celebrating.
What was it like? Was the last time we scored? Was that brace? What, 3 games ago?
3 games ago. But even then, I mean, for center mid, there's 3 goals in 4 games. You're stoked on that.
Yeah, you're happy.
Martinelli benched what's his name? The young kid's name.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking when he had what? He had 1 game where he scored almost 30 points, and then other than that, his starts were pretty substandard.
Yeah.
So
he's still building.
He's so young. I think there's a lot of hope.
One for next season.
One for next season, I think. Yeah. Okay. Fulham 2, Tottenham 0.
But Fulham was still
like there were chances on both sides. There's totally chances on both sides. Yeah.
God. It's the year 2025, and Tottenham lost to a match that Willian is still starting.
That is a little wild. That is actually a really good statement.
Like, Fulham shouldn't be stealing from the poor. Can I be fucking? We've lost 15 games this season. Like, back off. You know what I mean?
You're
Oh, so bad.
You suffer from the idea just because you used to be rich that people still think you're rich. You know, you're still treated.
Yeah, but
you're
at the
actually,
moment we're living on our 401k, and it's
man,
depleting.
I think that's running dry. I think you're on USAID. You're getting some full
Social
handouts.
Security?
Yeah, you're getting Social Security at this point.
It's fucking bad.
Generous.
Oh man, I don't know. It was Fulham. Fulham's Fulham. They got so many good players. They're having such a great season. I wasn't surprised. They do well against the big teams.
They do.
So whether it be the past or present, but it was a good game for Robinson coming back after having some couple mediocre games, getting back in the goal involvement. So that was good for him. Iwobi not getting his Iwobi points though. That's a little bit worrying.
What about Andreas Pereira finally getting some points?
Yeah,
he's been playing games. He wasn't playing games for a while now. He's just started the last 3 in a row, and he's got 14.25. Then he got a 6.75, then 18.75. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. On the Tottenham side, there wasn't really too much to shout about. I think Son got like 10 points, but it wasn't too much to shout about.
I thought Tell actually looked pretty solid. He had a few different passes that actually really opened stuff up, and it kind of he got 10 points. It wasn't like the most amazing, but I was kind of impressed with him. I thought he looked decent. Other than that, your 2 high scoring players were Ben Davies and Christian Romero.
Yeah,
That doesn't really speak to the Ben Davies getting absolutely bullied for the Sessegnon goal.
dude. Fucking Sessegnon come back to bite us in the arse.
Did you like that he didn't celebrate? Because was that so much of a non-celebration that was almost kind of like a celebration? Did it feel like
that was a celebration? You see his face? That's a fucking celebration. He walked up like stanky face.
But it was but he didn't celebrate because he was trying to be respectful. But it was so disrespectful the way he scored that goal that it almost felt like it was
so nasty.
It was like the intention. It was like
anger. It was an anger bang.
Manslaughter charge that got upgraded to a murder just because he was the intention was clearly there to do it.
No, he grabbed the bull by the horns and right, Tico.
Been there.
It is insane that Willian's still playing. Honestly, it's because he has a restaurant in London, so he probably just doesn't want to leave London. So he's like, I'll literally play for free. Whenever you guys need me, I'll play.
He's 36. I thought he'd be older, to be honest.
His he's still looks pretty quick though, the way he moves around. Obviously, I don't think he can do it for 90 minutes week in, week out, but having him just be able to come in and start a game every now and again.
I've always liked Willian. I thought he was a great player.
Great player. Okay.
What I say?
What are you feeling better about them with is Van der Ven coming back, or is he question marks there?
This season's over. Europa's literally the last thing. Don't get me wrong, we had a great win back midweek to bring us back, but literally I feel if anything other than European final win is a failure this season for Ange. Big failure.
What about Solanke?
I'm not sure. I still think he's a good player. He's a fucking Premiership striker. It just hasn't worked this season. But he still scored, 9 goals?
Yeah, but not since that injury, not when he missed all of February.
No.
Came back.
Yeah.
Came back and has been it hasn't been barely anything. It's been 2 games, so maybe it just needs a little more time. But
back to Bournemouth.
What'd you say?
We're just selling back to Bournemouth.
If only it was that easy.
Yeah, if only it was that easy. You should be
Speaking
able to return. There should be a trial period for trades.
Well, gives he back there?
I never touched him. I never used Nkuku. I should be able to return it.
Get the receipt.
I didn't even open the box.
It's on the box.
You gotta read the small print, Tico. You gotta read the small print.
Okay, last game of the week: Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0. Højlund with the goal. Is there a chance?
This is what I get for talking shit about Højlund.
So what's the over under? He literally waited so many people have been giving him shit, and the second Endo gives him shit. So you know what? I need to score on this motherfucker. This guy, this guy's talking shit about me. I need to score.
He still scored less goals than 50 players in the league, so I don't give a shit.
Only 3 goals.
Do you think though that he's going to go on to score 7 goals in the last 9 games and
No.
then
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What about but the other thing that's kind of funny is there was a goal that was just allowed that was really tight for Garnacho that he would have assisted, so that would have been even better. But Garnacho got a goal, and then Fernandez had 2 assists, and he ended up getting a goal in the 90th minute. That was a pretty sweet goal from the top of the box.
Fernandez continues to carry.
He's come on in the second half of the season. He was solid the first half of the season. Second half of the season, he's become. I mean, I'd be curious to see. I mean, I know
in the rankings.
I can do it really quickly, but I'd be really curious to see like from, October or November to now where he is in the rankings.
I'm interested when Garnacho's playing better too, perfectly honest. Even point wise, you can see it. He's getting in there.
You feel like it's finally starting to like Tico as a fan? Do you feel like you're starting to like see it? Like finally I'm starting to see the team.
I feel like next year the team is gonna look significantly different. And part of me feels like we're gonna have a new striker. I don't think Højlund or Xerxes are gonna be the starter next year. Unless, they decide not to spend money. But Fernandez, man, he's ranked 4th overall now.
Yeah.
In total points.
I mean, since November, he's ranked 2nd overall, only behind Salah.
And Salah's had a dip in form, at least in the cup games. He just doesn't show up in the finals, does he?
No, like we say he's had a dip in form, but his lowest scoring game since the new year was 12 points, and then he had another one, 13 points.
Dip in form, Tico. Carrying your team. Fucking carrying your team.
Look at the 35, 19, 29, 22, 13, 26, 30.
Are you having fun roster basing right now? Are you having fun?
Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh God, that's
just
like.
I don't even roster base. I just look at Salah. Put some Egyptian music in the background.
That's you fall asleep every night.
You see the before and all the pictures of his hairline, the goat spray they sprayed on his fucking knees, motherfuckers.
Okay, let's move on from this before it gets a little X-rated. What is up next? I didn't really do waivers because I was busy, but
yeah, we're wrong. Tico should have been handling all of this. Perfectly honest, he's the one who's at home. He should have handled all.
I just got back like a day and a half ago.
That's a day and a half that we're not there.
Is this the most international podcast we've recorded?
I think so.
Yeah, we're I think we're the furthest away from each other we've ever been. So
yeah,
like because Tico's in LA, I'm in Portugal, and you're in Japan. Tokyo. Yeah, that's a little nuts. Okay, but let's look at players. So Bruno Fernandes this week scored 41. Okay, how about Muniz? He started to come on and he's been contributing from the bench. Do you think there's a chance by the end of this season that they start playing him over Raul? Or do you think it's because they're still pushing for Europe and they're pushing for all these things that Jimenez will say? Because I think if they were solidly in 10th place and nothing else to play for, I could see them starting to switch. Muniz more. But I think at this rate, I think they're going to play the lineup.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it, because he's still scoring goals, Raul, and he's still contributing in ways that you don't see. So on the stat chart, so.
Do you know how had another really good game? Who we called out last week? Enzo was Bellegarde.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a 20-point game after we called him out. That's pretty solid, and he's still only owned in 46% of leagues. Yeah. So, someone to keep an eye out on. Man, what do you think about like Timothy Castagna for Fulham? Is he him? No. Yes. No.
I wouldn't. This is me though.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a weird one. I think it's to me, like when it comes to like this time of the year, I like any international break, I'm not like scrambling to pick people up like now. I'd probably wait, like see how some of the international games go, because sometimes you can watch those games and get like a little window into some might be pop or something.
Yeah. International's completely different to the league. Completely different.
Very much so.
Should we talk about some other things that happened this week?
Like my cousin getting married or what?
Real Madrid?
Real Madrid. Just the absolute destruction that was Liverpool's hopes and dreams.
God, Liverpool a week ago was still in the Champions League, was in the Carabao Cup final, and in the space of a week, like got knocked out by Real Madrid, and they got knocked out by Real Madrid very, very comfortably.
Atletico. No, PSG. I'm sorry, PSG.
Oh, sorry. They got knocked out by PSG very comfortably. And then they got beat by Newcastle because Big Dan Burn was like, fuck this, I'm from Blythe, and I'm bringing it home. This is the first time Newcastle's won a cup in
70 years.
70
67.
years.
70.
And this is the first English manager to win a trophy since 2008.
Harry Redknapp.
Harry
2008.
Redknapp with Portsmouth.
Funny story about Harry Redknapp in 2008 is, you know who his very first signing was?
Who?
The Newcastle coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Eddie Howe was his very first signing for when he joined Portsmouth.
Crazy.
Is that weird world?
It's crazy. That's crazy. But, you know, that happened. Dude, Aston Villa. I know they only play Bruges, but they look good in Champions League right now.
Do they have any chance against PSG? I mean, the only reason I give them a chance is Unai Emery is such a cup manager. He's so phenomenal in cups.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy right there. Do I think they can go all the way and win it? I don't think so, but do I think they can break some hearts on the way there?
Yeah, especially a young PSG team. I could see them causing them some playing some
Dembele you got to worry about, man. Well, Dembele and what's the other player?
Well, all the players are good.
Vitinha?
Barcola.
Yes.
There's a lot of great players on that team.
I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Villa wins the matchup. They're deep. They have a lot of midfield options, and they're going to be the more physical team.
And Rashford and Asenio are on fucking fire. That's the partnership we never saw that could fucking work so well. Perfectly honest.
Yeah, especially because they don't need to start every game either. Like that's Emery's doing a really good job of like kind of slowly betting them in, making you feel comfortable. You know, so
And they have fresh legs too because they didn't play most of the year. Rashford didn't play. Asensio was sitting on the bench for PSG. So
yeah, there's a little revenge narrative there too. Love a good revenge narrative.
Yeah.
Nice. And what about the other tie? I have some Arsenal fans that were saying that they were very happy that Madrid won over Atletico because they think that there's more. Even though obviously Madrid's a better team than Atletico, they thought that Atletico would just get so dirty and like get so just like choppy with Arsenal that would have been one of the most atrocious games to ever set our eyes on. And with Madrid, there's always a chance that they can just stifle them a little bit. What do you think?
So I was actually thinking about the game. What was it, like yesterday, the day before? I was like, because we suck at set pieces and corners. If they're going to score a set piece goal for sure. But
they have 180 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't see how their defenders are going to cope with Mbappe, Vini, Rodrigo, especially like on the left side where Mbappe switches off there as well. Because their left back is MLS. He's what, 19?
It could be Calafiori. I mean, we'll see who goes in there, I guess.
And and you would think Saka might be back for, I don't know if both of the games, but at least for the second, like Saka, I expect him to be back. But I don't even know.
It might be too late, but
I don't know if it's going to be Slaughter, man.
Him being back and him being fit though too, like just because he can come back, he can maybe come on as a sub. But I mean, the worst thing they could do is rush him back and try and start him in a game where he's not fully fit. And that feels like the type of like thing that you just hope that doesn't happen, you know.
And also, it's Champions League and Real Madrid, so
stick up.
The other
that
side
thing just became out of like nowhere within the last like few years. All of a sudden, like you gotta like kill him and do voodoo to get rid of him.
That's pretty funny. I like that bit. You have to do the dark magic you have to perform to defeat Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Yeah, because with Cristiano Ronaldo, it was never like that, except the one final when Ramos scored. With Cristiano Ronaldo there, with the 3 wins in a row, they just blew people out.
Yeah, it was inevitable. Yeah. I mean, who's beaten Madrid in the last like 5 years in the Champions League?
City,
10 years. City, and Chelsea won.
Chelsea, Ajax.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of
the first year Ronaldo left, and then they got the intentional yellow card, so the players were missing games, and it came back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
Tottenham
beat him in when was this?
You're just saying stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Okay, what about the other side of the draw? Barca, BVB, Dortmund. Barca got the easiest freaking draw.
They got the easiest route there.
I mean, they're gonna have to play one really real challenging team. I mean, you know, credit to Dortmund. You never know, but like Inter or Bayern is gonna be the real like the real heavy game.
That's gonna be a good game. But Harry Kane's on fire, man. I'm sorry. I think he's pushing for it. I think if anyone can win it, if you had to pick two teams, like who you think?
I think it's gonna be Real Madrid, Bayern Munich final.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Same thing.
I think honestly, I think whoever wins the Real Madrid Arsenal game probably makes it all the way to the final, and it probably is pretty likely to win.
But in the group stage, I was about to say stage. In the group stage with the new format, I think Barcelona played Bayern Munich, and I think they dominated.
Yeah, and also, but Arsenal played PSG and dominated them too.
Yeah, and
But
then
it was also 6 months ago, so you never really know. Like
Yeah.
PSG's got better by this, and so it's hard to say. But you know, Inter's always a surprise because they remember they've the last few years they've kind of surprised people how well they do. So you can't sleep on them. I think the thing with Bayern you have to remember is that Vincent Kompany is such a young manager. You could see him fucking it up.
yeah,
You know?
He's got so much experience on the field.
Yeah.
And on the bench.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's kind of a fun, pretty well poised, some fun games.
yeah, we'll see.
All right. Anything else you want to go over? Should we maybe meet before the games next week or something?
Oh, just last thing on the Champions League, the final is at Bayern Munich, so it's at they have extra motivation to make it there.
Allianz.
The final was there. They were in the final versus Chelsea.
That's true.
And they lost.
And they lost. Yeah.
Bastian Schweinsteiger missed the penalty.
Bastian.
Yep.
Schweinsteiger.
Love his story. He was like a right winger for when he was younger, and then he went back into the center of midfield. Love a good
Man U legend.
player conversion.
Not fucking terrible, man. He should never, like, honestly, if he had gone there 5 years before, and I would have been like, oh yeah, he's a Man, like, he looks like a Man United player. He just didn't. What he went there to retire.
He was like Casemiro light in terms of being a failure.
Yeah.
Great player that went there and just went. Okay.
Are we gonna? We're not gonna do previews, right? It's too early. We might pull up again.
I think we gotta kind of see what happens in all the international games, and if there's anything.
So much could happen.
Talk next week.
Because the next game starts on April 1st. Everyone will be back in
That is true.
LA. Yeah.
We'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back on the 30th, and I come back midday, so I can probably do a podcast before, so that we can try to get out on the 31st.
We'll figure it out. We got
We'll
it.
figure it out.
All right, this has been episode 82 of Draft Offsides. My name is Keefe. I'm with Tico Renzo. And we will be seeing you guys sometime soon in the near future, roughly a week from now.
Follow us on all those social stuff.
Draft Offsides on all the places and things. And cool.